iHeart and iTunes come on aboard. This is Mental Health Mondays with Dr. Paul Dyer. I normally have some guests with me, but right now we're working on towards the holidays. I want to talk to you about Mental Health Mondays. This week, as you can see, as maybe you can know, Thanksgiving's coming. Joyful, cheerful food, but it's also starvation. Starvation all the time. We're going into a food shortage. Most Americans may know that they're going to a food shortage because the prices are going up. We also know that the gas prices are going up for all kinds of reasons. But let's talk about the food shortage real quickly. We know there's tons of people around the globe who always goes hungry. They've been trying to survive on as little as they can. Water, food, crackers, rice, all those different things. We've had a rice depletion across the globe. We've had a freeze in Brazil. We've had erosion of soil. We've had issues with shipping. These are what's going on just with our own food prices and our food shortage and distribution. But let's talk about the rest of the world that has been starving for decades, centuries. And let's talk about the people who are not used to going hungry. You know who you might be, and you know who you are. Some of us have been through hunger times. I remember growing up as a kid myself that we did not have enough food to eat. It caused a lot of disturbance. My mother was sick at the time with cancer, and yet we still made it through. And this is how we make it through. And this is what I want to talk to you about. Mental Health Mondays is about developing a way to pull together as a family, as a community, as a unity. Until you pull together as a family, then the outliers, they're the ones who get hurt, and they're the ones who end up dying and getting sick. We don't want anyone to get sick throughout these times. And I'm not talking about COVID. I'm talking about the sickness of despair, the sickness of not having enough hope, the sickness of not having enough thinking that someone cares for you, the sickness that actually takes your life by you committing suicide. This is a sickness, and this happens around Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is always supposed to be a time for joy and family and peace and things like that. But let's look at the history of Thanksgiving and how we even came about it. I'm not going to get into that. That's a political statement. But I do want to get into understanding that there's a lot of people who don't have enough food to eat. They don't have enough many things to do, and they don't have a place to live and rest their head. This is the winter months. Some of the upper Midwest it's cold out. So not enough shelters are able to bed down these people who normally sleep on the streets. We got to stop forgetting about the unforgettables, right? There's things that are just unforgettable. People are hungry, children are hungry, families are hungry, and it could be your neighbors. It could be a friend of yours who just doesn't want to say, hey, I'm hungry. Hey, I need your help. Hey, I'm actually going through an economic crisis myself. The only way we do this is we pull together as a unity. We have multitude of organizations out there, fraternities, sororities, all these business types of relationships all over the place, all over the planet. And some of them help. Some of them care. But we can do better even if you're not in an organization, even if you're not part of this or that. Just reach out to someone and ask them and say, are you okay? And be prepared to say, no, that I'm not. I am not okay. Often we work on our heart and we kind of have these feelings and our emotions. Then we have our brain and we decide what is true and what is false. These two things have a pull, and you're always going to be in the middle. I'm not going to tell you to, one, follow your brain or follow your heart. What I am going to ask you to do is this. Compassion takes practice. Kindness takes work and effort. To be kind, you must act in kindness. Watch your words, watch how you're delivering, and watch the meaning of what your words are actually saying. Some people keep trying to say it is how you say it. No, it's the words and its meanings. Words have meanings. Understand the words you're using. Are you using compassionate words? Are you using kind words? Or are you interrogating? A lot of times we don't think of our words as being harmful unless you're trying to cut and, defame someone. And I get that. But in this times, people are committing suicide at a higher rate. Our vets are committing suicide. I too am a vet. I too understand what it feels like to want to take your life. I too what it feels like to go through trauma and try to heal that and continue to heal that every day and say, I seek the living sciences and I seek to live. I want us to work on unity, compassion, and kindness. Unity starts with yourself. Unify yourself. Stop living in a dualistic world because that affects your heart and it also affects your brain. When you live in a dualistic world, your body does not come together and your spirit starts to be eradicated and torn away from you. Live in a soulful self. Reach out through your soul and your spirit. Don't just reach out because you think you're going to get something in return. Suicide is on a high. Alcoholism is killing us. It's killing us in many ways. It has torn across families and has put people in jail multiple times. Reach out. These times, all times, every time. It's not just these holidays. It's not just Thanksgiving. But if you want to say, if you can travel, if you are going to travel, if you are going to see family, friends, or whoever you're going to see, please, not just do more than say a blessing for people who don't have. Make a plan with your friends and family that they and you are going to do something to help someone together. And I hope that brings your family together and unify your family. Hopefully it unifies your neighborhood. I don't care what it is that you do. You can give out turkeys, you can give out cans, you can give out toiletries. But I think a lot of things get missed. The socks. A lot of people living on the streets, a lot of people who don't understand, we miss having socks. What I say by we, I too. I've lived out there. I understand what it feels like. Don't ask me why, that's a whole different conversation. We come through a lot of things, and we can go through a lot of things, but we cannot go through it if we feel like we are not being seen or heard. Mental Health Mondays is I want you to highlight something, give you information, give you an understanding, and hopefully that puts you into an action. That is the bridges of all my shows. That's why it's called Bridges Live Presents. Blah, blah, blah. Because these things can bridge us together and to go across all those stormy seas so we can then unify ourselves. Stop breaking yourself down by not forgiving yourself or forgiving someone else. Allow yourself to feel and have grief. Allow yourself to go through that grieving period of whatever it is you're going through. But then again, reach out and get some help. Know this, that you're not alone. Mental Health Mondays is for you, for everyone. Share it, like it, love it, but also talk with someone else about their mental health. I saw something that came across my desk just so much recently about how often mental health is often faked, and a lot of people are faking their way through this. I hope we could erase fake it until you make it. Don't do that. You're destroying yourself from the inside to the out. That's why I practice the Qigong and the healing and the meditation arts. Martial artists, we dig in, we dig out, and we perform and we break down so we can build back better. I don't know if that's where Biden got it from, but I don't care. The only way we can build back better is for you to understand what you're building, how you're building, and where you need help. Do you need help in reading? Do you need help in math? Do you need help in economics, financial success? Do you need help on how to? There's always help that you can get in the next how to. But first, we have to be mentally sound. Us black men out there, we're not raising our hands enough. We're not asking enough for help. The minority people out there, pull your families together, pull your unity together. The country together, let's pull our country together. We are standing on each other's sidelines saying, I'm not for this, I'm against that, they're against this, I'm for that. And it's separating us. And the only thing that's truly going to keep dividing us in these upcoming times is will be food. People are either going to have food or not going to have food. There's a food shortage. But first, let's work on our mental health. Let's work on keeping this open and free. Let's work on keeping this compassion and kindness. I hope this helps on your Mental Health Mondays. short conversation. After the holidays, we will go back and having some more guests and to talk about many ways, other ways, or just some ways how to help your mental health. Mental health is so very important to me, to my family, and to all of us. Because without that, we ruin our bodies, we ruin our organs, we ruin the way our thinking processes, we ruin the way we hold and speak. We ruin so many things because our mental health affects our physical health, which creates a dying of our spiritual health. If you don't have mental health, you're not going to have physical health. If you don't have mental health or physical health, you're not going to have spiritual health. So all the times you are praying, and I hope you pray, whatever choose you pray to your higher being, or your meditation, so you can release all that pain and suffering. But understand this: it all has to join together, so you can be a whole person, not just bits and pieces. Be a whole person. Thank you. I'm Dr. Paul Dyer. Thank you for listening to Mental Health Mondays.